Jalen Horton-Tucker, I don't know if that final drive went exactly as you would plan, but the result certainly worked for the Lakers. Can you take us through the play?
Man, I thank God for that, that play right there. My intention was just to, try and get to the basket and, draw contact or foul or anything. I didn't go as planned, but, it still went in. So, I'm grateful for it, and we got the win, so that's the most important thing.
Yeah, it looked like you may have gotten a little help from Marc Gasol just contesting the rebound from Jokic. You then got your hands on the ball. How big was Gasol off the bench tonight for you guys?
He was a difference maker, really. Him coming in the game and his ability, to almost kind of speed Jokic up and try to, make things harder for him was really good for us, with Dre being in foul trouble and things like that. So, him staying ready was very important for us, and, we're appreciative to have him for that.
And Taylor, look, your fellow Chicago native sitting next to you on the bench there, Anthony Davis, probably his best game since returning from injury. What did you make of him, and especially that final block to seal the game?
It's himself. The last few games he's been trying to find his rhythm. We just want him to be the best AD that he could possibly be. So, him showing those, those flashes is great because it shows that, he's, finding his rhythm back and just getting back to himself. And when we have him back to himself 100%, I feel like we're pretty hard to beat. So, it's pretty good for that.
And final thing for you, look, it's been a tough couple of weeks, right? A lot more losses than you guys are used to having. How important was it to just get a victory, get this feeling back for you guys on the squad?
That's what we've been, stressing over the last few weeks, with us going through this rough patch. We just wanted to get back in the win column because, the only thing we could turn around is, just the things that we can control, and that's us, making the right decisions to win. So that was the only thing that we had to focus on.
Taylor, we appreciate the time, man.
Thank you.
Marc Gasol, 10 points in 17 minutes. His plus-minus.
The last few games, they've really been tripped up by big deficits. You go back to Washington, down 15. You go back to the other night against Sacramento, down 19. Last night, down 21. Guys, this cannot keep happening. The offense is just not gelling enough to get up to these big deficits. So what do they have to do? Obviously, play better earlier. And you just can't give up 72 points in the first half like you did last night, or 61 points in the first half like they did against Washington last week. James, you already talked about the defense a little bit. They are still actually the top-ranked defense in the league. But tonight, more than ever, James, a lot of offensive firepower on the sidelines. They got to play D against a very good offensive team.
Yeah, the Sacramento game, the Toronto game, they have not played the defense that we know they're accustomed to. I think the only way they're going to get it back is to get back to that. But they're missing Schroeder. And Rob said it, man. He starts it. He starts the engine, and everybody else sees that, and they pick up on that. So I know offensively they have their moments where they're stagnant. It's because they're not playing any defense. And if you're not playing defense, getting steals, deflections, stopping somebody, that ignites your offense. And so now you're getting blown out. You can't believe you're getting blown out by Toronto. So now you're wandering around like, what's going on? And nothing's going on either end of the court. So they got to get out of their head and get back the physical play of knowing what they can do and start with the defense, in my opinion.
Yeah, the thing about it is you got to come out each game, pretend you're down 15 to 20 points. That same energy you play with when you're down, you need to start the game with. You got to come out and play with that tenacity. You got to play with that want. You got to want it, because this is the NBA, and we talk about it all the time. Everybody in the league can play. It takes one guy to get hot to mess you up. So if you jump on them early, don't let them get hot, let them get any courage or anything like that, let them go in. So you got to come out early from the gate, like you said.
Look, Denver may be banged up, but they're backcourt. What do you have?
Yeah, a couple guys wasn't real familiar with their games as of a couple weeks ago, but P.J. Dozier and Facundo Campazzo really holding down the fort. Rob, you're kind of looking at me funny, but these guys are really, really playing good basketball.
I don't know how you said that name.
I know. I practiced like 10 times in the green room. I'm not even kidding. Facundo Campazzo, a big game for Dozier against the Clippers. He had 16 points, helped Denver get the win there. And Campazzo, more of a setup guy. He's actually 30 years old. This is his first season in the NBA, signed during the offseason after a couple years in Argentina and Spain. Definitely more of the setup guy, averaging 8 assists over his last 5 games. Don't get me wrong, Rob. I mean, obviously you got Jokic leading the way, Michael Porter Jr. doing plenty of heavy lifting, but this unknown backcourt is really kind of keeping things going, or at least helping that for the Nuggets.
Rob, is Brez your front runner for MVP for his ability to enunciate the way he just did?
I'm top 5 though, right?
He's a communications major. He's supposed to be able to roll those out.
People don't understand when you come from a good lineage, background, P.J. Dozier's dad played against me in college, and his dad was a hell of a basketball player. So,
You dropping knowledge.
Wow.
Lakers schedule, road ahead.
Yeah, these last 3 games are supposed to be pretty easy. Obviously, that was not the case. Now the Lakers have the 5th hardest schedule the rest of the way over the final 8 games. That's going to be rough. The next 5 games in particular, all against playoff teams as of this moment. No easy games over the next 8 days, 10 days, however many days it is for these next 5 games. And it's not going to get much easier if you look at what Dallas has right now. They have the 5th easiest schedule. Portland, though, we already said the Lakers have the 5th hardest. Portland has the 8th hardest. So they're both kind of got some tough games ahead. Here you see the next 5 games, all against teams in the mix. Knicks might be my surprise team of the year. They're holding down 4th in the Eastern Conference right now. Brian Bergen's Suns, our director, that's a big game for the Lakers, obviously. The only silver lining over the next 5, 4 are at Staples Center. And the game of the year, James, we've talked about it already for several days now. Lakers at Portland on Friday night.
Yeah, I mean, they put themselves in a difficult situation. You want to know how difficult it is to repeat as a champion? We're seeing it. With injuries, with everything, no excuse. We know they can play, and now they have their biggest challenge that they've ever had as a unit. Missing the play-in game if they can, trying to, get back to playing the way they know they can. That's a difficult task, and it's hard to regain that at the end of the season when you're trying to go into the playoffs. They don't have a lot of time, so it's going to be fun to watch and interesting to watch, Rob.
It's definitely going to be fun to watch because this is going to make or break the Lakers. This is going to tell you who they are as a team. Are they a championship quality team? Do they have the gall to go out and say, hey, we're not going to let this team do us like that. We're going to jump on her because think about it. These next games, like you said, all playoff games, this is a test. This is a great test. It's a hard schedule, some back-to-backs in there. It's going to show you who you are as a team, if you're going to come together or pull apart.
As AD said, it can only go up from here.
He's right.
You know what's going to be really fun? Listening to you tell us about the weekend that was. Before we go to break, we're going to continue to celebrate you. How was it? A graduate of the University of Alabama.
That right there was my proudest moment. That's my mother, Leela, Ori. That's my wife, Candace. But to see the smile on my mom's face made me shed a tear. And she had never been in a practice facility, and to see me up on the wall, she was like, baby, is that you? I said, yeah, Mom. She's like, why they got you so big? I said, Mom, your son was kind of a big deal at Alabama, I'm like, what? She was like, you shouldn't be that big. You don't look right. You know how your mom's are. Tell him, Jay, that your mom's always critiquing you, tell you everything about you. But I had a great time. And AJ, thank you for letting me have 2 days off to go celebrate my graduation. I had a great time.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
Good job, Rob. Proud of you, bud.
We hope to put the icing on the cake for you.
The graduate.
More cake.
I blame BT for this one.
I know
You
that.
did it.
That's that confetti cake right there, baby.
Oh, that's confetti, too.
Yes,
Nothing but cake.
Butt cake.
Yeah,
Heck
nothing,
yeah.
nothing but cake. But
Shout out Steph. Always taking care of us.
Steph, I love you. Thank you very much,
Rob, congratulations.
I'm not even gonna lie,
That's
though.
awesome.
I kind of missed you guys. When I got home, I
you're
ran
lying.
straight to the TV to watch you guys.
Is that why you called us, texting us
night?
playing bad cop?
Yeah.
Calling out James?
Yeah, calling out James. James, like, you go to the wall, man. You got to go in there. You got to do and then point, man.
Did you see I dropped it low, though?
Yeah.
Nah, man, very, very proud of you, Rob. I mean, this is not hard to do, man. Not easy to do, I'm sorry. And to have played in the NBA and being as successful as you've been, to still have that, that objective to get a degree, says a lot about, says a lot about your mom, Rob.
Yeah.
Rob, do you feel smarter? You definitely look smarter.
That's a bit of a stretch.
I don't feel any. I do feel smart. I'm not even gonna lie. I tried to use a couple of big words the other day. My mom looked at me like, "Boy, you don't know what that means." You're right, Mom.
You're right,
I got
you're
my
right.
degree now. I want to seem smart.
Let me back it up. Rob, congratulations.
Thank
the only
you.
time I'll say it. Roll Tide for you. The Lakers and Nuggets are coming up at the top of the hour right here on Spectrum Sportsnet. But guess what? Contavious Caldwell-Pope went to my favorite SEC school, the University of Georgia. Go Dogs.
Go.
You know what?